How's it going, guys, and welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to talk about why I think you should give Wind Chaser a shot. Now, before we do, some of you may know I do like to do unscripted content, so if it does get a little long-winded, anyway, I will have the chapters down below for easy navigation. Without further ado, let's get into it. So Wind Chaser, not Wind Piercer, Wind Chaser. R1 or R2 after sprint attack, gain the ability to use the second attack, sprint attack, as the first tier. And then the second one is Wind Chaser Swift. So after that double Swift attack, it gives you the ability to follow up with a potent blow. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, right, because we have two sprint attacks, right? We have Wind Chaser, we have Outrage. I know and I understand why Outrage, especially charged, right, is the fan favorite. Because, the vast majority of the time, right, I would say most players are probably looking to just stun their enemy and then just keep them staggered and kill them, right, without really letting their enemy attack back, which is fine, right? Again, if that's what you want to play. It's great. I use it a lot for mobbing, right? When you're just going throughout the game, if there's an annoying enemy you don't really want to deal with, like the invisible, like the invisible skeletons, stuff like that, which is fine, right? More often than not, people are going to be using Outrage, and even in bosses, right? Because it does a lot of stamina, stamina damage as well, and does do a solid amount of damage. But Outrage, in my opinion, is not always best, right? Especially when you're not going to stagger, when your enemy has more poise than will allow you to stagger them, right? Especially with a charged attack. Namely, like Frenzied enemies, Reese Phase 2, right? You're not going to be able to stagger her with this. Xaldin, whatever, So using Outrage, it's still, you can still use it, right? Because you can deafness from it, you can reversal from it, things like that. But I personally, and again, the more that I play with dual wield, the more that I really enjoy using Wind Chaser, because you can not only go into your Howling Blade combo from Wind Chaser, but Wind Chaser Swift actually is pretty nice to chain into Massive Blow. Other than being able to chain into your Howling Blade combo, I like that it is faster, right? Even faster than just an uncharged Outrage. So if I'm using my Wind Chaser, right, I can break up the combo if needed. So I can get a quick attack in if I choose to close the gap, right, with Wind Chaser rather than Breeze Dash or Flash Cutter or Wind Piercer, right, or even just a dodge attack. If I'm choosing to close that gap with a sprint attack, I like having Wind Chaser because I can quickly get a hit in, and then I can make the determination whether I can get another attack in, or if I need to dodge, right? So you sprint, you hit your enemy once, right, and you can make that determination after, because it's very fast, if I need to reversal, or if I need to deafness from that, or if I can get another attack in, and then I need to reversal, or deafness, or if I have the time, I can go seamlessly right into that Howling Blade, right? That's why I personally like Wind Chaser. I think it's more, let's say, I think it has the versatility. Let's go with that. As a whole, it has more versatility than Outrage to continue going into your Howling Blade combo and utilizing your other skills, right? Again, as I said, though, even with Wind Chaser Swift, I can go right into that. It has more stages, right? It has more stages and breaks in the combo to where you can make a determination to do other things if you need to, right? The other reason why I do like Wind Chaser is it uses to go into, let's just say, the Howling Blade combo, because that's how I personally use it the most. It uses a little less stamina, or actually a little bit more stamina for, again, I would argue more hits. Well, not, it is more hits, but I would argue more versatility, right? So if you look at my stamina bar, Oh, here we do here. If you look at my stamina bar, right into the Howling Blade, it uses a decent amount. If I use a Charge Outrage and a Massive Blow, it uses a little more. About the same, little more. Right. So, as a whole, again, there's not that much to go into with Wind Chaser, but I do want to make a video about it because, again, I do think that it is very applicable in certain situations, and the versatility, I think, warrants use, right? So I don't think every situation is just hit Outrage, right? A charge attack, do stamina damage, and then, keep your enemy just perma-staggered, right? I think especially with frenzied enemies or enemies with very, very high poise, I think Wind Chaser gives you the versatility and those, again, those quick attacks to let you make the decision to either Deafness, Reversal, use Gust, or just chain it into Howling Blade. It gives you those options as well. Other than that, guys, that is Wind Chaser. But before we do get on to the fights, because I have 3 fights for you today, I do want to say, look, my dual wield skills, okay, we are coming down to being, to completing our dual wield series, you could say, as far as skill specific videos. There's still a few more that I'm going to make videos on. A couple skills I'm not going to make a video on because, again, this series is why you should try it. And there's a couple skills that I wouldn't recommend anyone use. But I may make a video on that as a whole. Just bulk, skills that I personally don't use and why. But either way, before we get on to the fights, the weapon I'm going to be making videos on is going to be Spear. So please let me know. I'm not quite sure what skill I want to showcase on my first Spear video. But if you have some suggestions or preferences, let me know in the comments, please. I really appreciate that. But also, just a quick note, the dual wield videos are not going anywhere, though. I'm still going to put out dual wield videos just because, again, it's my favorite weapon. I like putting out fight footage. I like going about fights in different ways. So I will still find a way to get some type of dual wield footage out there. But it may not be, again, like skill specific, highlighting certain abilities. So that, guys, that's all I got. Again, please let me know what do you want to see for my first Spear video. Really appreciate the input. And yeah, other than that, enjoy the fights, and I will see you in the next one.
You want my strength? Prove to me you're worthy. Keshta the Unyielding shall lend you my strength.